Imagine this. You're standing alone in a silent, dilapidated building, its walls whispering tales of a forgotten past. Suddenly, you hear a floorboard creak or a door slam shut, sending chills down your spine. In the realm of urban exploration, where thrill seekers venture into the unknown, some explorers have encountered experiences that defy explanation, leaving them questioning the boundaries between the living and the dead. In today's video, I'll be sharing the scariest, true horror stories from the world of urban exploration. These stories are guaranteed to send shivers down your spine and make you question the existence of ghosts and the afterlife. Brace yourself and get ready to explore the darkest corners of the unknown. The journey begins now. Before we begin our journey into the terrifying world of creepy exploration, let's start with a little food for thought. Every year, thousands of people go missing while visiting abandoned places. Some of these cases can be explained by natural causes such as accidents or illnesses, but a significant number remain unexplained to this day. Imagine you're lost in an old abandoned house and you can't find the way out. You may feel isolated, scared, and desperate for help. The darkness around you seems to close in, amplifying your fears. Your heart pounds in your chest as you call out for help, but your voice echoes unanswered in the vast emptiness. Time seems to stand still, each tick-tock of the clock amplifying your sense of dread. What would you do in this situation? Would you stay put or take your chances trying to escape the house? Now let's meet Becky. After a long day at work, Becky decided to unwind by checking out an abandoned asylum near her home. She had heard tales of the place's eerie atmosphere and was curious to experience it for herself. As she wandered through the dilapidated halls, she couldn't shake off the feeling that someone was watching her every move. Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her, heavy and slow, like someone dragging themselves closer and closer. With a pounding heart, she turned around, but there was no one in sight. The sound of footsteps echoed again, and this time they seemed to be right outside the room she was in. As she stood frozen in fear, the doorknob began to turn slowly. Just as it opened, Becky screamed at the top of her lungs and ran in the opposite direction. Adrenaline pumping through her veins, she stumbled through the darkness, desperate to escape the asylum's clutches. As she raced through the asylum, she could hear the footsteps gaining on her. The sound of heavy breathing filled the air, sending shivers down her spine. She could feel their presence closing in on her, enveloping her in an icy grip of terror. In her haste, she stumbled upon an old, rusty metal bed frame and hid under it. Pulling herself closer to the ground, she tried to silence her racing heartbeat and steady her trembling breaths. As the footsteps approached, she squeezed her eyes tightly, hoping to vanish into the darkness. But as she waited, the footsteps seemed to fade away, replaced by an eerie silence. Slowly, she emerged from her hiding spot, her heart still pounding. But the asylum's unsettling energy remained, leaving her with a lingering sense of unease. But there's another story that's even more frightening. Let's meet Alex. Alex, an urban explorer known for his thrilling discoveries, had ventured into the infamous Waverly Hills Sanatorium, said to be one of the most haunted places in the United States. As he explored the abandoned sanatorium, he stumbled upon a hidden passageway concealed behind a bookshelf. Intrigued, he pushed the bookshelf aside, revealing a dark and narrow opening. With a flashlight in hand, he cautiously entered the tunnel, his heart pounding with anticipation. Suddenly, the temperature around him plummeted, sending shivers down his spine. He could feel the air growing thick and heavy, as if the very walls were closing in on him. As he ventured deeper into the tunnel, the air grew stale and musty, heavy with the scent of decay and despair. With each step, the oppressive atmosphere intensified, making it difficult for him to breathe. The darkness around him seemed to press in, amplifying his sense of isolation and vulnerability. Just when he thought it couldn't get any worse, the stench of rotting flesh filled his nostrils, causing him to gag and stumble. The smell was so overpowering that he could almost feel the decaying matter on his skin. Panic began to set in, his breathing quickening as he desperately searched for an escape. But the tunnel offered no exit, only endless darkness and the haunting aroma of death. Trapped in the suffocating confines of the tunnel, Alex found himself battling against an unseen force that threatened to consume him. Now, here's the twist. When Alex finally managed to find his way out of the tunnel and back into the dimly lit sanatorium, he noticed something peculiar. His phone, which had been ringing incessantly since he entered the tunnel, suddenly fell silent. Had the oppressive presence within the tunnel silenced his phone, or was it merely a coincidence? Alex couldn't be sure. This mysterious incident left him questioning the boundaries of the supernatural and the secrets hidden within the walls of Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Have you ever heard of the vanishing hitchhiker? It's a creepy legend that has been around for decades. The story goes like this. A lone traveler is driving down a deserted road when suddenly they pick up a hitchhiker. They chat for a while and everything seems fine until the hitchhiker asks to be dropped off at a certain destination. But as the car approaches the designated stop, the hitchhiker suddenly disappears, leaving the driver stunned and frightened. Well, believe it or not, there are those who claim to have experienced this terrifying ordeal firsthand. Take the case of a man who was driving home late at night when he came across a young woman standing by the roadside. He stopped to offer her a ride, and they struck up a conversation as he drove. She told him that she was heading to a nearby town, and he agreed to drop her off there. However, as they approached the town, the woman asked to be let off a few miles before they reached the town center. The driver agreed and pulled over. As the woman prepared to get out of the car, he turned to her and noticed something strange. Her face, which had been illuminated by the dashboard light, was pale and lifeless, resembling that of a corpse. Startled, he turned away for a moment, and when he looked back, the woman had vanished, leaving him alone in the car with an eerie silence. If you've ever been a passenger in a car, you know how unsettling it can be when the person beside you suddenly vanishes. Now imagine being the driver. That would be terrifying. And if you think that's scary, wait till you hear this next story. Let's meet Jake. Jake, a seasoned urban explorer, had heard rumors of a haunted house on the outskirts of town. Locals spoke of strange lights and shadows seen in the house's windows at night, leading to speculation that it might be a front for illegal activities. Driven by curiosity and a thirst for adventure, Jake decided to investigate. One moonless night, he crept closer to the house, his senses heightened. Suddenly, the hairs on the back of his neck stood up, and a chill ran down his spine. He could feel an overwhelming sense of dread wash over him, warning him to turn back. Despite the fear gnawing at his insides, he pressed on, determined to uncover the truth. As he peered through a window, he saw a sight that made his blood run cold. Inside the room, a shadowy figure was moving around, its eyes glowing an eerie red in the darkness. Startled, he stumbled back, knocking over a nearby flower pot. The sound shattered the silence, and the figure inside the house turned its head towards the noise. For a moment, their eyes met, and Jake could feel the intense stare boring into his soul. Terrified, he scrambled away from the window and fled, never looking back. Just imagine, you're hanging upside down, trapped in a coffin, unable to move or scream. The walls of the coffin seem to close in, restricting your breathing. And as you struggle to free yourself, the nails holding the lid in place dig deeper, causing pain and panic. And then, to make matters worse, you hear voices outside the coffin, taunting you and relishing in your fear. While this may sound like a plot from a horror movie, it's actually the terrifying reality that two men faced in Brazil back in 2015. According to reports, the men were kidnapped and taken to an isolated area where they were buried alive in separate coffins. Fortunately, one of the men managed to dig his way out of the coffin after an incredible 10 hours of struggling. However, his companion was not as lucky, and was found dead inside the coffin. This horrifying tale raises questions about the lengths to which some people will go to harm others. And it serves as a reminder of the importance of personal safety and awareness. Well, there you have it, folks. Some spine-chilling stories from the world of creepy exploration that will leave you questioning the existence of ghosts and the afterlife. These explorers have truly ventured into the unknown and emerged with tales that defy explanation. Now it's your turn. Have you ever had a creepy or unexplainable experience while exploring abandoned places? Share your story in the comments below. And if you're planning on doing some creepy exploring of your own, let us know which abandoned places you plan to visit next. Also, don't forget to check out my next video, where I'll be diving into more terrifying tales from the world of urban exploration. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the unknown. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring. And remember, some things are best left undisturbed.